The real journey is to get to know that inner part of ourself, because then you trust it. I'm sure that everybody that's in this room has had at least one moment of that kind of knowing, that inner knowing, that you pay attention to it, even if it doesn't make sense. Now, I told you the story with Karen first because it really, that was such a sledgehammer thing that I could not avoid the thing. It was so obvious. But other times it's not so obvious. But by the time Regis shared with me his vision for the Spirituality Center, I could say yes to that because I had learned for so many times that when I have a feeling like that it's right. And of course, the thing is, it didn't go how I thought it was going to go. I get to Peru, I don't know anybody, I have no job, I don't speak the language. I don't know what it's really, I thought. Maybe that there was some organization that was going to get the whole thing going or something. But every way that it did happen, I mean, there was a point where I had really run out of money. And that was after I had built my house. And so what happened was it made me rent out my guest rooms. I had no intention when I went there to make a hotel. But the only people I could rent my rooms to were tourists. And it was just at the beginning of when tourism was going. When I first moved there was about 300,000 visitors to Peru annually. Last year, 3.3 million. So it was at a moment, that things were starting to shift, and this thing opened up for me. And then this woman from Lonely Planet showed up, it was a guidebook that they hadn't been to Peru in 6 years, and she wanted to know if there were any new places, and I met her in a cafe in town, and I said, oh, yes, I have one. And I didn't, I had my rooms. And I made up the name. Passi Luz is the name of my place, which means peace and light. But I made it up that day that she was there. And I said, oh, and we're building more rooms. Because in a meditation, a week before, I got this message, build the extra rooms first. Because I had spoken to my architect about building a conference room. And then I got this message to build the extra rooms. So I had asked my parents to borrow money to do it with. And they're like, gosh, I don't know, is there really people gonna go there? And then this Lonely Planet lady showed up. So I would say, it's about becoming friends with that part of yourself and with the divine, so that you learn when is it your crazy mind and when is it your heart.